Christ, what the hell's going on? What are you gonna do with your life? You're 45?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Obviously,
Besides pissing it away, what are you doing? You don't know. Why don't you find out the goddamn
Why?
answer? What am I supposed to do with you now, 6 years later?
I don't have the answer to that.
Well, give me an answer. It's your life. Give me an answer.
Give me a chance.
Chance at what?
To review the pre-sentence investigation report and is prepared to go forward. Thank you.
Mr. Mulkey?
Yes, Your Honor, to go forward as well. Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 45 years old. He does have a history using drugs, no doubt about that. He has an employer here that he's worked for on and off for the last 20 years, Dave Oros from Oros Construction, Your Honor. Not only does he make a living working with Dave, but he's also in the process of buying a home from him that he stays in, and he's been making payments for that home on Belmar Avenue in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, so he'd like to get back to that. He's aware he has some financial obligations for child support for his 11-year-old son, Isaac, so he wants to get back on track with that. And the thing is, what is he going to do to convince the court that if the court places him on community control, that he's not going to go back to using again? He indicated he's well aware of the fact that he is on, to say the least, a very thin rope, and that if he violates probation, tests dirty for drugs, that prison is his next stop, very likely. So we would ask the court to place him on community control, or whatever treatment and other sanctions are appropriate. Sort of give him
I have no idea what's appropriate, because he stopped coming around 5 and 6 years ago. So I don't know where he's been, what he's been doing. I get different stories based on who I talk to. So I don't have the slightest idea what's appropriate for him.
May I continue? Thank you, Your Honor. He can address those issues with the court himself. It might be effective coming from him regarding the time that he was away. He did recognize and does recognize that he does have an immense problem with drugs. He did mention treatment.
Well, but he said after he went to prison, he came out and he was clean all these years. And that's not true.
I think there's more to it than that. I think that the court is absolutely correct. That is not true, and I think he can elaborate on that further, Your Honor. Furthermore, he did mention treatments such as Concord Pines, and he's going to do everything that he can within his power. The choice is up to him, not anyone else. The court, probation, and the programs that are available can only do so much. He's the one who has to want to do it, and his record seems to indicate otherwise. However, each day is a new day and a new opportunity to turn things around, perhaps with his home in the balance and his child's welfare in the balance. He'll come to some sort of a realization.
I assume his child's welfare has been in the balance for 11 years.
It has, Your Honor.
And that hasn't really impacted him.
I think I will transition now and allow him to answer the court's questions with my request to the court of considering community control sanctions, Your Honor, and not putting him back in prison at this time, allowing him to address his drug habit. Thank you.
What's your story?
You want me to stand, Your Honor?
Whatever you want, I don't care.
What's my story? Where do you want me to start?
Well, I'd like to know what the hell happened to you 6 years ago when you just disappeared from here.
When I came in on the original charge, I think it was the conveyance or whatever the charges were. I had just gotten out of prison. I was in a halfway house, Harbor Lights. I had dropped a dirty urine there, and they were going to violate me. And I think, if I remember correctly, I was going for a pre-sentence investigation here. It was the next day, and I think I dropped dirty for that one. And I knew I was going to get locked up, so I just quit showing up. I was working the whole time. I mean, I worked with my dad, I worked with Dave. I was going out of town a lot for work down to Washington, D.C., where Dave has another office. Yes, I was using. No, I wasn't using Heroin, I just went to other, I was using
I
other
don't have the
things.
slightest idea whether what you're telling me is true or false.
Okay, how can I,
You can't, okay?
okay,
You can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but all I'm telling you is, I don't have any faith in what you're telling me.
okay. I don't know what you're asking or what,
I'm not asking you anything. You say whatever you want to say.
okay.
You said you got clean. Tell them about that.
I mean, I've been clean while I've been locked up since October. I mean, I haven't touched anything, you know, in the last 8 months or 7 months or whatever. Before that, I know I was not clean, but I was not doing heroin and that.
What were you doing?
A little bit of methamphetamines and Suboxone. No, I was on Suboxone in county jail in
In what county jail? Downtown?
Cuyahoga, yes.
They're giving you Suboxone in jail?
Yes, they give it here too.
That's pretty goddamn stupid.
They give it in Lake County jail too.
Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on? What are you gonna do with your life? You're 45?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Obviously,
Besides pissing it away, what are you doing?
nothing,
Why?
because drugs are more important.
Why?
I don't know that answer.
You don't know that. Why don't you find out the goddamn answer? What am I supposed to do with you now, 6 years later?
I don't have the answer to that.
Well, give me an answer. It's your life. Give me an answer.
Give me a chance
Chance of what?
to make things right,
What does that mean?
to get clean, to take care of my son.
How are you gonna get clean if you're taking dope?
I've been clean. I
You've
don't
been
need to
clean. You're
get
taking
clean.
Suboxone. Why are you taking Suboxone?
To stay off dope.
To stay off. How long are you gonna be on Suboxone?
I don't know.
You
I'm
don't
not on
know.
it now.
It's your life, and you don't know the answer. What doctor have you consulted about how long you're gonna be on the goddamn Suboxone?
I haven't. I have
You
not.
have. Why not?
Because that was never brought up.
It was never brought up. Why didn't you bring it up?
Because I was in jail, and they brought it to me, and they said, "Here, this will make you feel better," and that was that.
Well, where were you working during all this time?
With Dave and for my father and a couple other guys. I'm a, I guess, independent subcontractor, concrete masonry.
How can I put you on probation like you're requesting if you don't show up? And you're gonna tell me that you will show up, right? How do I put you on probation if you don't show up for 6 years? And not of your own volition, right? You didn't show up because you turned yourself in. You showed up because you got caught, right?
Right.
Okay, so how do I put you on probation if you don't show up?
Ankle monitor. I don't.
People have cut off ankle monitors before.
That thought never crossed my mind, but okay, yeah, I see that.
So now I'm supposed to sit here and pretend that 6 years later everything's okay. Right?
I wouldn't say okay. I mean, it's got to be dealt with one way or another. I mean,
Well, your way of dealing with it is for me to put you on probation so you can go on about your life, right? Right?
yes.
Okay. See, the biggest problem here is not that, at least in the period of 19 and 20, you were a hopeless drug addict. That's not the biggest problem, okay? Because hopeless drug addicts come in and out of the doors every day, all day. Your problem is you don't like to show up, and therefore deal with the problem. That's your problem. You just kind of hope it goes away by taking a little meth to take the edge off. Driving here and there, even though you don't have a license because it's part of the job. Not seeing your son because it gets in the way of you being out and about instead of in a blue uniform. You just kind of like to skate on by. and not do what you're supposed to do. Your history dictates that, or shows that. You haven't had a license forever, and you don't really give a shit. You're driving anyway. You got anything else to tell me?
No.
Mr. Geigerich?
Thank you, Your Honor. The State of Ohio entrusts this court to fashion a sentence that's appropriate. Thank you.
Have a seat. All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report. I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. What treatment for drugs and alcohol do you think you need?
I don't have the answer to that. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not a
okay.
professional.
I don't know. I don't have the answer either. We've clearly established that neither one of us have the answer. As you sit here now with your history, recent and expanded, what treatment do you think you need?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what treatments. I have never been to treatment other than going to Stella Mars from Cuyahoga County and to Harbor Light from prison.
Those are just
Which are-
holding tanks, right?
Trap houses, more or less. So to answer your question, I don't know what kind of treatment is out there because I never pursued it. I mean, obviously nothing I was doing was working right,
Okay.
other than
So
going
it
to.
never really dawned on you to kind of figure out a way forward as far as treatment is concerned. Aren't you sick of people like me telling you what you have to do? Don't you get sick of that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so why don't you figure out what you have to do and go about doing it, so you don't have to have people like me telling you what you have to do in order to stay out of prison for a long time? Why don't you take ownership in your life?
I thought I can't be around the people that I was around.
No shit.
I mean,
You can't hang around on 152nd on the corner waiting for meth. No shit. That's enlightening. Can't hang around at the BP station on 185th and Neff waiting for drugs. No shit. I think you came in here just trying to figure out a way to get through this and get
No,
the hell
but-
out of here with the least damage possible. That's what I think. On each of the cases, you're going to serve 45 days in the Lake County Jail with credit for 4 on the 797 and credit for 4 on the 798. And then at the earliest time available, you're going to get in the jail treatment program and complete the jail treatment program and follow all recommendations. So you're to have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're going to do the decision points program, complete that and follow recommendations. You're going to obtain and maintain full employment. That means full employment. That doesn't mean you work whenever you want to work. You're going to get a valid driver's license. You understand the terms?
yes.
Any question about the terms?
The JTP and that, you said it didn't work. I'm still doing it, correct?
Oh yeah, you're doing it.
Okay.
And you can do one of two things when you get in there. You can either stare at the wall and twiddle your thumbs like you did last time, or you can pay attention to try to figure out what you have to do once the program's over, so you're not back here in the blue uniform. It's up to you. I don't care what you do. If you don't comply with the terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control, and if I find you violated on these 3 cases, you'll go to prison for 42 months. You understand that?
Yes.
42 months. But your history is you just kind of do whatever you want, so do whatever you want. Okay? But if you come back here, you're going. You understand that?
Yes.
And the costs and supervision fees are part of your probation. Anything else, Mr. Geigrich?
Well, forfeiture, contraband, and.
Forfeited. Mr. Mulkey,
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
why don't you try something different? For the next 45 years. You profess that you're a friend to this gentleman. Why don't you try acting like that? Why don't you try acting like a good son to your father? Why don't you try acting like a good father to your son instead of screwing around like this, which you've been doing since you were 20 years old?